Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Phenomena number 20, Trapping Bigfoot. It's Saturday, November 27th, 2021, Thanksgiving weekend, 6 p.m. So, a lot of people have been talking about this issue for most of the year, and I still hear people mentioning it here and there. So I kind of thought I should say a little more about it. I've said some things about it before, but uh, I just want to make sure people know that this bill did not pass. There is no Bigfoot hunting or trapping season in Oklahoma. It did not happen. So you've got a couple people here. This thing will work. There we go. Aotearoa Cryptids says Kia Ora Lockbeard. Welcome, Cryptids. Michael Haywood's here. Welcome. That's just a picture of a cool sign, but I'll remove that. Uncle Bones is here. Welcome. So I don't know. A lot of people keep saying this, and they really should not anymore. So we have this state representative named Justin Humphrey, and he decided it'd be a jolly good idea to introduce a bill. It says Bigfoot hunting in all the stuff, but when he was asked about it, he's like, no, we don't want people to try to kill Bigfoot. He was wanting a trapping season, but it says hunting on the, that's why everybody thinks it's hunting, but there was no way. And I'm sure he got a lot of crap about the whole idea of killing a Bigfoot. So but that's just not what it didn't happen. So there he is. Let me catch up in chat real quick. Gene's here. Welcome to the chat, Gene. Cryptid says, do we really want to pick a fight with these beans when we know so little about them? Yeah. I mean, one is a danger. If they ever did pass something like that, it would be very dangerous. But my primary issue with it is I've said before on here, I think that their morphology clearly indicates, as well as other things, clearly indicate that they are human. They are a race of Homo sapiens. They are the same species as us. It's almost if when it's proven to the public that they're real, I will be surprised if it turns out that they are a separate species. It is still possible, but I think it's extremely unlikely that they're a separate species from us. So to propose introducing a trapping season or a hunting season for a race of people is just straight up offensive and unethical, and it's just ridiculous. But that is a picture of our for our state representative Justin Humphrey there, who proposed this nonsense. Now, yeah, it was really a publicity stunt, but it's still offensive. Would you be allowed to propose such a thing for Native Americans or Black people? To me, it's in the same realm. You're proposing a hunting season against a race of humans. It's, I don't care I don't care if you think it's a joke or if it's for tourism. No, it doesn't. It ain't gonna work. Sorry, Justin Humphrey. Kiss your political career goodbye, because I kind of doubt you'll ever be elected again after this. Paramedics here. He said he actually showed up at the Bigfoot conference in Hanobia and spoke. So he either has balls or is a few bricks shy of a load. It might be both. Crypto says ancient human like people are great elder brothers. Gene says, "Sorry, paramedic. They didn't lynch him." I bet a few people might have had those thoughts about him. Crypto says our history proves that's exactly what we do. Yeah. So this guy, I don't know, man. Anyway, people, it did not. It didn't get very far. I'll show you. For one thing is I emailed the state legislature website myself to double check on the progress of this thing, and when they responded and told me it was stuck in committee. But I'm going to show you the Oklahoma State Legislature website page here. Crypto says hunting Aborigines was legal until last century. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't remember when there was a black guy in a zoo in America at some point. I don't know. I don't remember what year. I mean, he wasn't in a cage, from what I understand. He kind of ran around. He ran around loose. But technically, there was a black guy in a zoo. Let's see here. Look at it in Australia. Sandra says, "Hello, Gene. How are you doing tonight? You have been in my thoughts." Paramedic says, "However, his district is one of the poorest in the state, and he was trying to bring money into an area where the main income is from meth." You're telling on our state, man. One of the prettiest areas I've seen, but no jobs. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is with that area. It I'd like to acquire some land down there, actually. Right there by the national forest. I'd rather have my back to the national forest than not. If retreat is ever necessary, shit hits the fan kind of situation, the prepper in me is talking, then having a national forest bordering your land might be a good idea. Termites fine, fighting for life we lost. That don't sound good. Crypto says we are all running around in the zoo. Yeah, we really are. We're all trapped. There's nowhere we can escape to. It isn't like we can just wander out into the wilderness somewhere and be left alone. They'll come find us if they really want us, you know. Gene says, my 40-year-old daughter died on Thanksgiving Day. I'm sorry to hear that, Gene. Paramedic says, I was a nervous room, but everybody knew what he was up against. It was a nervous room. Were you there? I tried to go to Hanobia last year, but the 2020 fraud virus, they shut it down. They didn't have it. And this year it just wasn't feasible with the new job and stuff. And because it's in October, isn't it? It is in October, isn't it? Crypto says, love and light to you and your family, Gene. Yes. Look at bones. Prayers to Gene. Yes. Gina says, I feel so hurt in my heart. Yeah. Yeah. Condolences from all. Gene says, thank you, Sandra. I had to write her obit today. It was tough, but it is up. Yeah, I'm sure that's very, very difficult. Okay, I'm going to enlarge this for a second. There it is, Oklahoma House Bill 1648. This is on the Oklahoma State Legislature website. You can see there they call it to establish a Bigfoot hunting season. But he said it wasn't a kill situation. It was supposed to be a trapping season. They just don't get it worded right here. And I had a hard time pulling it up this time. I thought they had just deleted it, probably out of embarrassment. But you see all those tabs there: history, amendments, bill summaries, versions, votes. There's nothing on any of nothing, no activity on any of those tabs. And on the history tab, you see there, that's it. First reading, authored. Second reading, that was back in February. This hasn't passed. That's it. Nothing has happened. So hopefully everybody sees this. Every time you see somebody say Oklahoma has a Bigfoot hunting season, no, it does not. It does not. Oklahoma does not have a Bigfoot hunting or trapping season of any kind. It did not happen. Now, it may happen in the future, but so far it is stalled out, and it looks to me effectively dead. So the bill did not pass. There is no Bigfoot hunting season or trapping season in Oklahoma. Okay. But I keep hearing it here and there, because it's one of those things that people heard about it, and conclusions were jumped to, and it didn't happen. Crypto says, one of my favorite quotes, Gene, is come back even as a shadow, even as a dream. Pyro says, first conference, met a security guard from where they filmed the casino Bigfoot footage. He gave me some cool information not released. Who, Justin Humphrey did? Or the security guard? Okay. What kind of information did he give you? I mean, I know that's been a hush-hush situation. Bigfoot and more, I guess, was there, as I recall, wasn't he? or he saw the footage himself, I think it was. Betty wasn't asking what the hell did I walk in on this that time. But yeah, Gene says, I believe that our birth and death is written in the book of life. It doesn't change, but who we are when we get there is our choice. She did good. She was a light. Pray for her says, I'm so sorry to hear that, Gene. Gene says, she never looked back, and I am so happy she is on the best adventure, but I love her and it hurts. I am selfish like that. Sandra says, chat family, please pray for Jean and her family. Donna Fuller's joining us. Welcome. Says Dave Wilbank saw the footage from the casino. Yeah. Tim Boy is joining us. What's up? Welcome to the chat. Let's see. Timmy Boy says, maybe Pyro, I've been impersonating that guy for years. I've been thinking of you prayers. We all love you, and I hope that helps in some way. Pyromedic says, handprints on the light pole it grabbed as it walked by. 9 feet up. That's pretty high. That is pretty high. So, let me see here. We'll look at this thing too in regards to that bill. StreamYard needs to make this stuff a little more fluid. But there we go. I better enlarge that too. That's just there's really no information here about the progress on it. The other page was the progress or lack thereof on the bill, but it was introduced as an act relating to game and fish, directing the Oklahoma Wildlife Conservation Commission to establish a Bigfoot hunting season, providing for codification, and providing an effective date. Anyway, they tried. And it says here, this act shall become effective November 1st, except it never happened. So, it was just introduced. That's it. So hopefully everybody stops saying Oklahoma has a hunting season. It does not. Polly T's joining us. He says, evening, Lockbeard, Kia Aura, AC, Michael H, Sandra P, Uncle Bones, Gene H, Donald F, Pyro -M. So I don't know what more to say about that issue. It's just people keep bringing it up, and I don't know why that idea continues to live. It's hard to get an idea out of the collective consciousness once it gets entrenched. So I don't know if I need to beat the dead horse continuously or what, but it hasn't happened, and I will surely vote against it if it was me voting. But yeah. So if you've been wondering what a Bigfoot trap might look like. I found something interesting elsewhere on YouTube. I guess this is a little tourist attraction. I can't remember where this is at. That's supposed to be a Bigfoot trap. Did they ever discuss a bag limit? Not that I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure as hard as Bigfoot is to find, nobody's ever going to get more than one. But as many have said, and I have said, I don't think you're going to get one. There have been people trying to find these things all along, and it hasn't happened. So, but yeah, no, the proposed bounty was like It was $25,000. It was only thousands. Those millions of dollars thing. I guess there's some private individuals wanting to front that money to, I don't know, maybe they have some interest in encouraging somebody to go out and try. I mean, $25,000 will, might get, it'll get some people out there trying to catch a Bigfoot, but $3 million will get a bunch more people out there trying. And but that was private money. That wasn't there's no way Oklahoma is going to give a $3 million bounty for anything. Let alone, but they might do that. They might. The legislature might be sitting there, and most of them are saying, "Well, this is just a tourist thing. We don't believe Bigfoot exists anyway. We're never have to pay this bounty. Let's just go ahead and say we'll do it." But the proposed bounty was $25,000, as I recall. Paulie T says, "I'm sure it's huge and very durable." What, that trap? No, that's just some stupid thing somebody built. Just watch Mountain Monsters. Yeah. Paulie T says, "We can't see them. That trap isn't catching squat but air." Oh, I'm gonna play the short piece of this video. It's kind of funny what she said. The trap did in fact catch a few things at some point in its history. Wondering, Donald says, "Wonder if it would be buck only." I don't know. Michael Haywood says that's a hobo live trap. Yeah, you might be able to catch some hobos with that. Hobo wouldn't even be caught in that unless bombed. Let's see here. So I'm gonna play a short clip. This lady that's filming this here. There's other people that have filmed this same trap. It's kind of a little tourist destination, one of those little things you stop on the side of the road for. But she says in this clip what that trap actually caught.
It was built in the early 1970s and it stayed in operation for six years. It never caught a Bigfoot, of course. All that it caught was a bear, two, and a hunter.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. What is the story on the hunter? How did a hunter get caught in that thing? That's what I wonder. One of these days I'm going to do something about my lighting situation in here. Normally I don't need a light hardly, but let me see here. So, what else is going on? What else in the, since we're talking Bigfoot tonight? Um, Polly says, thought it was an outhouse. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah. There's probably some people out there who actually believe they can trap a Bigfoot. I mean, she said that thing was in operation. Pyro says the hunter was probably curious about how it works and found out. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. So, been some fun things going on in the Bigfoot community this week. I don't know if y'all saw Joe's show. That was kind of funny. Leon comes on, the guy like he's gone. He said he was familiar with their shows, so which means he's familiar with Leon, and Leon's gonna ferret out bullshit real quick, and I think that's why that guy. I think everybody thinks that's why that guy disappeared. The day slinging Christmas trees like a Sasquatch. 12th day slinging Christmas trees like a Sasquatch. I'm tired as fuck. That guy is a certified fruitcake. Yeah, I didn't really read a lot of the chat. I had to watch the replay. I I certainly did not want to miss that, but normally I would have been there live, but I was exhausted and fell asleep. So, but I did watch the replay and saw some of the chat commentary, which was funny. Everybody was calling bullshit on that. That guy was on the wrong show. Saw Brandy kind of going for the jugular a little bit. Pyromedic says Joe goes to texting everybody trying to get some help and left him with Cornell. Funny shit. Well, I saw Joe talking on Squatch Talk about that situation, and he said he didn't actually go anywhere. He had his camera off for a little bit for some reason. Donald Fuller said, "Did you notice the joke I played on Squatch Talk? I'm still laughing about it." I guess not. Did I? Or if I did, I forgot or something. I don't know. I was kind of half asleep for that show as well. But what was the joke? Yeah, that guy. Man, his story was falling apart quick. I did see where Brandy was saying this guy appeared elsewhere saying that he's actually trolling Bigfoot channels, which Joe wouldn't have known, because Joe, he said he doesn't follow a lot of the channels out there. He's kind of been doing his own thing, and it's probably better off. Like he says he doesn't watch Bigfoot Odyssey, and I recommend nobody watch bullshit Odyssey myself. Because they would probably gladly invite that guy on. they would invite him on gladly because they're not a channel that is interested in, legitimate scientific inquiry into Sasquatch. They are on the entertainment side of this subject, just like Pork and Beans channel, and I'm going to show you proof of that in just a second. Pork and Beans channel is on the entertainment side of this issue, and I'm going to prove it in just a minute. Michael says, I missed it too. Please tell it again, Donald. Yeah, tell it again, Donald. The Sasquatch Underworld Evidence LLC. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. He said it was some kind of corporation. Paulie says, Brandy was spot on and on point with comments. Yeah. Welcome, Nikki. She says, no, Brandy went and checked it with someone else. Oh, it was somebody. Okay. Well, the guy's still full of shit. At any rate. Where's Brandy? I don't know. Brandy, she might be asleep. Paramedic says they said he has been banned from a few channels, but hasn't everyone? Yeah, many of us have. Gene says they are out there. Have you heard them? Hey, Nikki. Good evening. So I mentioned Pork and Beans because, well, I don't watch them typically. I'm aware of them, and there's a reason why I don't watch them. I'm not interested in channels that are on the entertainment. I'm not interested in channels that try to act like they're legit, but they're not legit, and they'll have on any kind of guest to get just for the views, right? Which is fine. Your YouTube channel, you want views, blah blah blah. That's fine. But those channels are dishonest, and I don't like people being dishonest with me. So like I've watched some of Peter Kane's stuff, but he's obviously joking. He's not trying to act like he's a legit YouTube channel. If you actually watch enough of his videos, you can clearly tell he's not trying to pass his channel off as something real. He is joking. So his channel doesn't bother me at all. He's cool. He's funny. And but when you're talking some of these other channels, and the reason why Pork and Beans is coming up right now is because a week ago they had a guest on, and we all know that this guy, like, I don't know, maybe a lot of people didn't realize he was full of shit in the past, but with the recent controversy that has been named by Nikki, I believe, Porcugate. After Porcugate, you think, okay, everybody wants to get away from Noel, right? Everybody should want to get away from Noel now because he's pretty obviously full of shit. He's trying to pass off a damn porcupine as a Sasquatch, and everybody can see it's a porcupine. Anyway, Pork and Beans had him on as a guest a week ago, as if he's legit. I mean, I'm going to show. Look at this shit. Hold on a second. Bam. There he is. That's a week ago on Pork and Beans, and they're talking to him like he's a legit Bigfooter. Dude's legit as far as they're concerned. Paulie says 100% walk. Thank you. Pork and Beans are out there. They are out there. Yeah, they are out there. And let's see. Paulie T says, but did they get the beans above the pork? I don't know. Franks and beans. Brandy, you lurk? Is she lurking? Oh yeah, she's lurking. Welcome to the chat, Brandy. Gene, how are you, hon? Been thinking of you. Free flipper from the zipper. What? Let's see here. Try to catch up. Never even heard of pork and beans? Well, you'll get to hear a few. I want to play a few seconds of this because this by itself is a joke. What this guy says here when I hit the play button, it's a total joke. I mean, it's a joke to me. He's treating Christopher Noel as if he's a legit Bigfoot researcher. Barry says, "What if it's a mistake? What if he really believes it's one but made a mistake?" A lot of people think that, but I don't believe it for a second. I think he knew damn good and well what it was when he was filming it. I can't prove that, and the people who think he's legitimately mistaken can't prove that either. But come on, man. Come on. He was right there. He was right there. We can tell from the video, and he couldn't tell, and he was right there. I mean, it's just dude is full. Chris Noel is full of shit. Period. I said it. I don't. Maybe other people are nicer about it, but look, him and he talks about it in this show. I didn't watch the whole show, but I watched a portion of it. He talks about the whole Bigfoot as some autistic thing. Dude, put that autistic bullshit away. Shut the hell up, Noel. You're just an idiot, man. Brandy says, "I'm sorry, Gene. Reach out to you reach out if you need in chat. I know the pain." Yeah. He fits right in. Yeah. You're not going to see him on. Well, if you see him on Pat's show or Joe's show or one of the shows that are, yeah, it's going to be a different conversation. These guys are acting like he is just he's this great. He's this big deal, and hey, Brandy. So let me enlarge this. This is just hilarious. Just gonna play a short bit of this.
And we have a great guest today. I mean, one of my favorites for a long time. And one of I guess you could actually say he's kind of one of the pillars of the community. He's just holding down his end of the bargain for a long time.
Yeah, Christopher Noel.
Christopher Noel. He's an author and an experiencer and a videographer.
Yeah, that's Walter H. There we go.
Thanks for having me. Good to
Hey,
be here.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah, pillar of the community. Are you fucking kidding me, pork and beans? Are you fucking kidding me? Pillar of the community, my ass. First, he tries to convince us the entire Sasquatch race is a bunch of autistic people, and now he's trying to pass off a porcupine as a baby Sasquatch. He's an idiot. He's a goddamn idiot. Pork and beans. Sorry. Prairie Fire says he is as bad as Vault of Nightmares. Oh, yes. Vault of Nightmares, who showed up on Moog's show the other night. It's probably good I wasn't there for that one either. I fell asleep for that one as well. And yeah. What's wrong with Vault of Nightmares, Prairie Fire? What you can rail on him. You can rail on him all day long on here, man. I don't care. That son of a bitch is the one who was in my chat saying, you know, Oklahoma's not very far away. Ask Vic Condiff what happens when you do this. Dude was threatening me. That fuck was threatening me. Oklahoma's not that far away. Fuck you, Vault of Nightmares. Go fuck yourself, man. Donald Fuller says anyone with common sense would know an apple tree would have some shake to it if a 6'1" Bigfoot was climbing it. Yeah. Isn't he on 168? They showed him briefly on there. I don't remember if I might have to rewatch 168 because I was not feeling that shit. But he was there, and look, there was some people there that I feel are not don't belong in a group of that includes, you know, some bullshit. You know, Barry, Mokes. I mean, you know, you guys didn't look. You don't belong with those guys, man. You don't belong with them. Freaking Zasky. You don't belong around Zasky, man. That guy is full of shit. Well, no, they are not autistic. What a piece of work. Yeah. Paulie T says just real people who believe and agree that we are being misled by the powers in control of what they want us to believe, not what reality is. Brandy said, does this guy Chris have any good research before the porcupine thing? I mean, not really. I mean, I really don't know that. I mean, he may have something legit in all his shit because he sells books and stuff like that. But but this whole autistic Sasquatch thing, he makes so many claims. I don't believe him. I just don't believe him at all. Someone could be full of shit, and maybe they did have one legit encounter, but then they just started running with it, and because you know some people do that. Yeah, he was talking about Vault of Nightmares, who was on there under the name Vault Keeper. He's a front man for DDoS, and I did comment under that video in regards to DDoS. I kept it pretty chill, but I did comment under that video in regards to Vault's connection with DDoS. Gene says, Brandy, I don't know. I only seen he was on the 168. None, all blob squatches. Yeah. And who knows, maybe one of those blob squatch pictures is a Sasquatch, but it's not a conclusive picture at all, and he's just been blurting out so much bullshit as if he's some kind of expert, you know, on what Bigfoot is like and how they behave and they're autistic and all this nonsense. He's just dude's ridiculous. Barry says, I appreciate your opinion, Lockbeard. Well, good to hear that, man. Look, because when I'm talking about, I know, like, I'm not attacking everybody that was involved with 168. Of course, the bullshit artists are going to try to rope in some people that have some legitimacy attached to their name to suck on your legitimacy. You know, and a lot of people still think Carrie's legit. I'm not one of them. Maybe he had a legit encounter, but he's running this channel and you know, he's putting guests on there that are just bullshit, and I don't know, He's definitely a hypocrite. I demonstrated that perfectly well, I think. And no one can deny that he's a hypocrite. But so I don't know, man. Just I'm not attacking you or Mogs, or anybody else that's legit. Brandy says, Lockbeard, some people don't know everything and they may have to learn it for themselves, and they will learn because the people who are dishonest and troublemakers always make a mistake. True colors. Yeah. Yeah. I commented about Volt because I know that there was probably some people in chat who didn't realize, Volt's connection to DDoS, and of course, how many of them are going to read the comments? Probably none, but but yeah. Prairie Fire says soon DDoS will be on Mogs. You watch. I sure hope not, though. Now Mogs acted like he was, completely not happy about DDoS coming back into the community. So hopefully, based on the way he was acting before, I don't see that happening. But man, if that does, man, that's not going to be a good move if that happens. Paulie T says, imagine a rain Sasquatch. Yeah, I'm hiding in front of you, yeah, but you can't see me. What? Doll says, I was going to say he was backing DDoS. Yeah. He does back DDoS. He backs DDoS to the extent that when I did the live stream about DDoS, next thing I know, I'm getting all these harassing comments and emails and comments on my videos, and Vault was in the middle of that, and he said Oklahoma's not very far away. Ask Vic Condiff what happens, blah blah blah. He was threatening me. Vault of Nightmares, Vault Keeper on Moog's show the other night, was threatening me. Brandy says Vault most likely has purposely inserted himself over there. Yeah. Dudes, it needs to be run off. Go back to the entertainment bullshit side of the Bigfoot space. People keep calling it a community. I wish, I don't know what else to say. Like, they are a separate community from people like us. When I say us, maybe not everybody in this chat considers yourself part of whatever the fuck us is, but those of us that want this to be a legit scientific inquiry, an interest in the actual truth, not any kind of bullshit story, the new flavor, the new theory, this is some magical hocus pocus thing. We want truth, things that have actual evidence in it, accounts that are real accounts, not that bullshit that that invaded Joe's show the other day. Which, it was cool. They were able to kind of use him as a demonstration, really. But Sasquatch Wizard and Darn Ducks, welcome. He says, good evening, everybody. Hello, Lockbeard. No deer today. Oh, man, that sucks. You'll get one. Cold, windy. Deer were hunkered down for the storm, but had a great time either way. Barry says, just a disclaimer, so I don't look underhanded. I'm friends with them all. Vault, DDoS, ECC. Oh, really? Wow. Brandy says, Barry, you're entitled to be friends with whoever you want. Form your own opinion. Yeah. I see. Paulie T says, Barry, you can be a middle road guy and friends with both sides and still be a real dude, man. Just, I'm in my best Flava Flav voice. Don't believe the hype. Prairie Fire says, no use for any of them. They are degenerates, charlatans, and woman beaters. Brandy says, there's some people who just don't get along. There's some people who have savage, jealous girlfriends who I can't be friends with anymore for no reason. Shit happens. Yeah. Barry Brownie says, I know, Brandy, but I didn't want anyone to think I was hiding anything or being underhanded. Brandy says, Barry, you've always been honest and respectful that I've seen. I'd never think of that. So, yeah. All I can say is you know, when you're someone like DDoS who and his crew, you know, Vault and all them, Dark Waters, who, you know, who you know, he did commit the crime and is making excuses for it, and you have all these guys who are not only defending him, they are threatening me. Vault was threatening me, Barry. The only thing I'm threatening with is social repercussions, as in, you know, I think DDoS and anyone who defends him should be, you know, ostracized. You know, and then D comes at me, you know, trying to threaten legal action for just ridiculous stuff and claiming I was what was he claiming? He's claiming I was harassing him. Well, I'm just on my own channel, you know. I didn't go over to his channel. They came over to my channel threatening me and implying that they were going to come to Oklahoma and do something to me. You can go back and look at the chat unless they deleted their chats. But if they did delete their chats, at some point, because I got screenshots of all that shit. I'm going to show all that shit on here at some point. So I'm just saying, we got two different groups, whether we like it or not. People could say, oh, the division. I'm not the one creating the fucking division. They are. You know, people spreading the bullshit is hurting us all. And then we don't need someone like DDoS. You know, he's a bad guy. He has a long history of violent behavior, and he's definitely full of shit. His dogman stuff is just bullshit. He's not helping any of us with what we really want to accomplish. We want the truth. And you're not getting any of that from DDoS. Shifty. Gene says, I followed them, and when I found out about what he did and seen the video, nope, don't even go there. Yeah. He's a lot. You're awesome, girl. Brandy says, I just believe that everything happens for a reason. Karma is a bitch, and the universe will balance all the shit out in time. Yeah. It you know, but I think that balance doesn't always come just because it just kind of happens. I think it comes because, you know, shit comes back around. You put bad out, and someone else is gonna come back at you. Like someone has to act. So that's why I talk about some of this stuff. because I think somebody needs to say something about it. You know, or because sometimes bad people get away with their bullshit and then nothing ever happens to them. That does happen sometimes, and you know, sometimes people have to act and do something or say something or so I'm going to continue doing it. Whether the bullshit artists and the liars and the thieves and the straight up criminals like it or not. Those are a joke. Polly T says, Michael, I did just messing with you, buddy. We good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really doubt they would actually show up. But on the off chance they do, you know, I don't need any bullshit interfering with my life. But as far as people showing up trying to fuck with me, but I have those screenshots. So if they stopped fucking with me at some point. So I think somebody finally got the hint that they were in the wrong in that situation. Anything that was talked about is public information. Any of you can go find that stuff. And I was not harassing them. I'm not over on their channel, you know, harassing them in their chat. And even if I did go over there, they can ban me. It isn't like they're helpless for me to they're helpless against me, you know, on YouTube. It just isn't. Just like I'm not gonna say I'm not you know, I'm not gonna try and say, oh my God, they're harassing me. I mean, technically they are trying, and you know, they've been in my chat. But that just gave me an opportunity to gather their evidence. And if they, you know, if they continue to be disruptive, maybe, you know, I'll rethink my, you know, my policy of trying like hell not to ban people. I mean, I'm still going to try like hell not to ban people. You know, I don't want to just ban people for asking legit questions, but you know, they were bringing that. They were definitely, you know, one of them was trying to call me a racist for, you know, questioning D or talking about D's crime. You know, just ridiculousness, absolute ridiculousness. Brandy says, but we could spend time talking about the people who are helping the subject. Oh yeah. And we do, and we will. Prairie Fire says, and where Revolt's BS goes, there will be DDoS. Yeah. They're on the fullest shit end of the situation here. Polly T says, thanks, Michael. I know I'm super offensive, but don't care for the sake of cheap laughs. I'm on it. No shame. Yeah. Shameless. I know it and support it. Michael says, Polly, you never offended me more than a dozen times. Barry says, and I won't get angry over any comments from chat. Your opinion, you're entitled, but so am I. Yep. Thank you. I'll be all week. 2 for 1 tickets for my next show. Bring me a tree. Polly says, Barry, I sure hope not. You're funny, bastard, cool guy. Stay true to you always. Polly T says, Brandy, when it's don't want to look at, smell, or even acknowledge Christmas except LOL, baby Jesus. Donald Fuller says, has D acknowledged any of what he was in prison for with his followers? You know, he's trying to paint it over, kind of like you can, if you can stomach it, you could go over on dark waters. I don't want to send you over to dark waters, but where he, where they talked about that. And anyway, all these people were coming around trying to say that they were trying to suggest that he was innocent, that he was wrongfully convicted. I'm calling bullshit on that. Most people call bullshit on that. So Brandy says, so back when that OK stuff happened, someone had mentioned that it was, yes, a publicity stunt, but that there are actual teams of Bigfoot hunters out to kill these things. Any info on that? Not that I'm aware of. I certainly hope not. Because I think these are human people, just a big hairy race of humans, and they should not be murdered or hunted like animals. But yeah, just a publicity stunt. It was, but it's just I'm trying. Reason why I'm talking, because someone mentioned it again. There's still people out there thinking that we actually have a Bigfoot hunting season in Oklahoma, and we absolutely do not. I showed the page earlier. I don't know if you'd gotten here yet. Where, on the Oklahoma legislature website, where, you see it, just nothing's happened. It shows the history. And I emailed them myself months ago, asking them what's going on with it. And they told me it was held up in committee. Held up in committee. Excuse me, my COVID's acting up. No, I don't have it. If you've been listening to me, you know I don't think it's real. But Michael says, yes, Paulie, if I see you in person, I'm going to kiss you. Ah. Papa Craig's here. Welcome. Mr. Lee 3PO's here. Welcome. It's okay, Mr. Lee. It's okay. Paulie T says, Michael, I'll let you in an unalternative way. Huh? I'm not sure what's going on here. Brandy says, a group of hunters out of Texas, one allegedly shot one in the arm. Oh, man, that sucks. If that happened, that sucks. Leave the Bigfoot alone. Barry says, most commenters don't know the whole story. They just don't, and I'm not going to explain it over chat. Well, a bunch of people have said that, but and yeah, there's two sides to the story. I totally get it. But the man, he was, look, I've talked on here, like, I don't think I did on the Phenomena show. I did on the Random Live, about, previous relationship I had where the woman, she was trying to push me to violence. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with me, right? And I wouldn't allow myself to be pushed to strike her, even though she kind of had a weird, she wanted me to hit her. But even if she does, it's just not something that's really, it's not in me. My first instinct is to leave. And so even if she was taunting him or, angering, look, at some point you got to walk away, dude. You just, you got to walk away. So I don't know that that's the case. I don't know. All I know is that he did enough to go to jail. There's strangulation on that paperwork. I mean, dude, you don't choke people. You just don't. Let's see. Donald says the video I watched of him trying to kick a female out was pretty offensive. Yeah. It's bothersome to me. I talked about it before. I don't like couples even yelling at each other. It's very bothersome to me. So even if there isn't actual violence, I don't like couples yelling at each other. Mr. Lee says, I had a gummy bear and passed out. There'll be no explanation. Needed to crack a joke, laugh, listen, enjoy the ride. Those pesky bears. Extra sticky gummy bear. I take it, Mr. Lee. Michael says. Some of those, Papa says, some of those gummies will tater you. Brandy says, I don't know much about the group of hunters. I forget the name of the organization. So they were part of that. They were part of the is it the, I forget the name of them right now. It's like out of Louisiana. They refer to Bigfoot as an ape. The Wood Ape Conservatory, is that what they're called? Is that the one? Or something like that. It's like the I think they're the ones that in their name they call it the Wood Ape. Barry says there's 3 sides to every story. Don't remember if he said hi. A side, B side, and then there's the truth. Well, whatever happened with them, what happened in my chat was completely unacceptable. So any chance they had of ever convincing me that maybe, things were a little more gray than they were is gone. Vault of Nightmares, that son of a bitch was in my chat threatening me. So he can fuck all the way off. All the way. That's all I'm just saying. Just saying, Barry. Whatever happened between D and his woman, it doesn't matter. What happened in my chat, it was there for everyone to see. The people saw it. I got it saved. I got the screenshot saved. So if anything more comes along, or anyone's doubting that these guys are shit, I got, it happened in my chat. They're, if they're good guys, why are they threatening my ass in chat? Why are they harassing me, calling me a racist, all this bullshit? No. So, makes me think, it just adds to, okay? It adds to all the violent talk about D in the past. Not just with her, but with others. Mark Dodman says, later as usual, but good day to all. I mean, shit. Why in the fuck? Okay, here, I'll show you this. Just a second. Just a second. Why did Dark Waters... Let me get this off here. I mean, it's not a big threat, but It's kind of part. It's just part of the whole thing that they had a whole campaign against me going there for a little bit. Why Dark Waters feel the need to send me a link to this video? You know, you don't want to go to war. You don't want to go to war. Huh. Whatever, Dark Waters, man. What do you whatever, man. Whatever. If those guys are good, why they fuck with me like that? Pop Craig says those Bigfoot hunters of the GCBRO had a TV show called Killing Bigfoot, now called Bigfoot is Real. Their show is modeled mirrored after Mountain Monsters. Mark Dodman, welcome. It's okay. You're on Australia time, man. Danny Stanton, welcome. When my mom and dad would fight and raise heck with each other, they called it foreplay. Yeah. Polly's Barry, I found it's a three-side story. There's one person's side, there's the other person's side. Be right back. All right. Sasquatch Wizard and Iron Dex. We'll see you in a bit. I don't know how far I am behind in chat. Hope Mark says, good day, Papa. Hope you and Nana are well. Polly T says, then there's the truth, which is bits and pieces of both sides glued together and besides have a custom tailored to support their side. So yeah. Well, I mean, regardless, I mean there may be some gray area to the story, but you know, the bruises on the necks, you know, tells a story. No, not the Wood Ape Conservatory. They were the GCBRO. Gotcha. Mark D in the bearded chat of the lock. Yeah. Brandy says, not sure. I was sharing my opinion of the okay shit back when it happened, and someone came back and me and at you and said I shouldn't share it around. There's actual hunters. I should be I should be talking about that. Not sure. I was sharing my opinion of the okay shit back when it happened, and someone came back and at me and said I shouldn't share it around. There's actual hunters. I shouldn't be talking about that. I think that's what you mean. Like there's hunters out there trying to kill Sasquatch people. We need to be talking about it a lot. If we could find out some more about this and try to prove it somehow. I mean, if that's going on in Oklahoma, you know, some of us may need to go out and spoil some hunts with cameras and expose the bullshit. We should not be hunting Sasquatch. That's just not acceptable to me. You saw that, Lockbeard? Says Mr. Lee. I'm not sure which part, but cool. Prairie Fire says they are fecal material. They threaten you because it's worked with others. Yeah. And that kind of encourages me to continue because I don't like seeing bullies getting away with intimidating other people. And so now I got more victims to try and help by showing them that somebody is going to stand up to these criminal minds, these people. I mean, I mean, if there whatever doubt may exist of how bad they really are was at least partially obliterated by their behavior in my chat. And there was a bunch of messages, that bunch of comments they put under some of the videos saying shit to me. They would comment and then delete the comment. Well, the comment still comes to my email, so I got all those. But most people didn't see those comments. So I'm going to try and find some time to, put it all together and then show that all that to you guys. So you see what they were doing. They were harassing me and trying to intimidate me. And so, if you're thinking, well, maybe D isn't such a bad guy. No, yeah, he and all his crew are. If they were good guys, they wouldn't have been harassing me and putting these threats out. No. They were showing their true colors, and I think they kind of realized that they were, and they certainly realized they were not going to intimidate me with their bullshit. And so they've completely stopped. It completely stopped at some point, and I think it has to do with my last email to D, because he emailed me threatening legal action, and we, anyway. So I think he realized with that email that they don't have any legal standing at all to come after me to sue me or anything. It just isn't there. And also I may have suggested to him, because I'm pretty well, I'm not gonna say that part. Sorry, I'm not gonna say that part. But I mean, I think it might be a sensitive thing. Michael says, more fishing time draws near. Mark, fishing time. Brandy says that then the guy proceeds to do an interview with a well-known newspaper talking all about the okay shit. Brandy says, oh my God, I can hear you chewing or sucking. What the fuck? I got a mint in my mouth. Can you hear me? Sorry. Donald says, I just don't see D as being a religious man the way he portrays himself. Yeah, it's just a front. It's a complete front. Prairie Fire says crackheads. Mark says, one more sleep, Michael. All packed up and we'll be heading off early tomorrow. Tight lines, Mark D. Michael says, Mark, you get so excited you can't sleep. Good. Ready to roll. Uncle Bone says, good luck, Mark Dotman. Enjoy the water. Will do. Polly says, in my opinion, if you monetize your channel without complete transparency of where money goes to the cent, the almighty dollar has gotten to you and corrupted you like it has so many others. Yeah. Yeah. I don't begrudge people for trying to turn YouTube into a job, because it does consume some time, and at some point, if you're not spending enough time on YouTube doing your thing, it's just not going to get anywhere. But if you're spending that much time on it, you don't have time for like a regular job hardly. it depends, of course, what you're doing and whatnot. But and then also there are some costs involved, um, for certain things. So as you've heard, uh, some YouTubers tell their viewers, well, this, because people try to say, oh, you're just trying to make money. Is well, no, a lot of YouTubers, are not making money. It's actually costing them a little bit to do the YouTube, like it does me. Uh, so yeah. Papa Craig says, Danger Mark, I may have to go steelhead fishing like I've been threatening to. I was eating, could not type on a subscription basis. Oh, yeah. Brandy says, I agree, Polly. Money has ruined many, sadly. Yeah. Gene says, yes, they came through this summer. Here was casing the place, and I ran him off fast. I walked right up to him and said, there is no company with that address here. Who are you? He left. Who? Yes, they came through this summer. Here was case in a place, and I ran them off fast. You talking about the Bigfoot hunters? Papa says, I want to be corrupted, Polly. Pied Piper, Steelhead. Yeah. Nikki. Gene says, hunters, that is, came through. Word was they were hunting Sasquatch and Dogman. Well, if they're hunting Dogman, I'm pretty sure they're not going to find squat, but I certainly don't want them hunting the forest people. Polly says, nah, Papa, be truthful and legit to your donators. Brandy says, that's why I don't share too much. I worry about that. We'll stretch your string pretty good. Papa Craig says, I used to be Polly. Now I just hope I don't fall down on the boulders on the bank and break something. Gene says, yes, they threaten people all the time. Yeah. Steelheads. Sucks 10. Brandy says, there are a lot of people in the field that say they are followed, got helicopters flying over, crazy cars parked near their homes. I don't know if that's true, but I can't say it isn't. Barry says, Lockbeard, with all due respect, you act like a bully in chat on others' channels. Now you play the victim when it's done to you. Come on, man, you're smart now. I've never threatened to come to people's homes. I've never done that. I might say, look, you're full of shit. I might tell someone you're full of shit, but I've never implied that I would do something violent to someone like they did. It's night and day, man. Y'all talking about all this fishing, you're making me hungry. All right, micro steelhead or sea run rainbow trout between 4 and 20 pounds usually. Polly says 4 and 20 pounds of deliciousness. Chasing estuarine species, what we call flathead, bream, trevally, mulloway, tailor, primarily. Randy says, I think the way in which we choose to bring light to the negativity is important. Communication can be flawed. Personal feeling, need to stay out of it, and there has to be facts to back up the claims. Yes. Michael says, Danny Stanton lives near striped bass that come from the ocean. So you can get some big bass. Papa says, well, Mark, if they pull on the line and are tasty, that's plenty good enough for me. I haven't fished in quite a long time. I used to favor fishing for catfish just because, catfish is good, and I can bring in way more catfish than I can eat. If I if I really just do it, I can feed several families for a year because the catfish are plentiful in some of the waters of Oklahoma. They just are. And if you focus on bigger catfish, I mean, there's some big freak catfish. You can get a lot of meat out of a really big catfish. And of course, a lot of people like fishing for crappie, and I don't mind. I mean, crappie's good. It's real good. It's better than catfish. But, they're small fish, and it's a pain in the ass to clean them all. And it's, it just is. Paulie T says, Michael H, I like my stripper barely legal. My stripper barely legal. They are so tasty at that size. When they get larger, they build up fat on top near dorsal fin and become less tasty. Oh, man. Lily White become the stained and dirty fuckers. Brandy says, what kind of pole do you use for your stripper, Polly? Catfish is fine eating too. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want to go after if you want a lot of fish for the least amount of effort or time. I mean, like when I was on the north end of Grand Lake, I used to live there, and I had one trot line, regulation length trot line, and I'd go down to the lake and check and rebait in the morning, and then again at sundown, and just unlimited catfish to be pulled out of that lake. Now they have their, of course they give you a limit of what you can take, but even staying within the limits they give you, you can really clean up on fish. Barry says use the word bully, just playing by your rules. I witnessed you trash someone for asking about cloaking. 2 comments later, you said perhaps it was the spirit of a Sasquatch not cloaking. I don't think that's bullying him, though. I don't think that's bullying him, though. I'm sorry they can't handle someone, calling bullshit on bullshit. If they're dropping bullshit like cloaking, look, no one's observed any other creature cloak. This is not a thing. It's not an established thing that exists in the world. And they're here, and we're just trying to find out what Sasquatch is. And when people are talking about cloaking, when there's absolutely no proof of that, and we haven't even proven really that Sasquatch exists, right? I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit on it until someone can prove that cloaking can happen. We can see evidence of spirits. So we start talking about spirits, that's a different deal. But no, there's no evidence of cloaking. So I don't know what to tell you, man. I want to eat freshwater fish, but I'd rather crappie fish. Yeah, we can see evidence of spirits, but we have seen no evidence of cloaking. I mean, yeah, I've talked a little bit about spirits before, but now some people out there kind of, running a bullshit show when it comes to ghosts, but we have been able to show some evidence of spiritual activity. So see, how about is mine? Brandon says, will Well, we have no facts about Bigfoot, no experts. We don't know, right? So how can someone state, as a matter of fact, that cloaking isn't a possibility? Well, for that matter, I mean, if we went by that logic, we could say, well, how can I say that unicorns aren't a possibility? And I'm just saying that, you know, no one has been able to show that cloaking it happens with anything else. So we haven't. It just doesn't. It doesn't. You know. I mean, if they could show anything, but no one's shown anything, they claim cloaking. And I think that what's going on in some of these cases where people think, well, the Bigfoot just disappeared. I'm thinking they blacked out for a second. The Bigfoot ducked into the bush. Or maybe they didn't even black out, but the Bigfoot was so good at disappearing into the bush that this person thought the thing legitimately just vanished. But I don't know. But they, Paulie T says, my big 10-foot fiberglass rod for barely legal strippers. Brandy says, and fuck off with that pareidolia word. But it's a thing, Brandy. It's a real thing. People see shapes in the clouds, and that's pareidolia. Who was the other day? Someone kept pronouncing it wrong. They kept calling it pareidolia. Michael says, Donald, can you tell me the difference in a sauger and a walleye? I don't know what exactly. They're very similar fish. I think walleye has got to be my favorite freshwater fish by far. Unless you're at a restaurant that doesn't cook them right. I've had the misfortune of that, and what surprised me is it was in Wisconsin. A couple different restaurants I tried walleye at, they didn't do it very good. It wasn't that great. The best walleye I've ever had, and they cooked it great every time without fail, was at a casino in Oklahoma. Well, that's different, Polly. That's camouflage. Camouflage is one thing. Cloaking is a different thing. White tip on its fins. We don't have walleye, but a friend of mine caught a sauger. Brandy says, not trying to be difficult here, but it's just funny to me that people who believe that they can cloak would never say to a flesh and blood believer that they aren't flesh and blood. Well, yeah, but that's the default, right? I mean, that's the only thing that we could say if we agree that they exist. That's the only thing that we could say for certain, right? Because they eat, apparently they shit, and they leave hairs. They make sound. They leave footprints. I mean, all these things are indications of flesh and blood. There's evidence for flesh and blood. Killing livestock even. I mean, there's evidence for flesh and blood, but not for cloaking. And so, when people start claiming cloaking, I'm thinking either they are mistaken or they're lying. One of those two, because if cloaking was a thing, we'd see it in something. If they said it had the ability to camouflage like a chameleon, like Paulie mentioned, well, okay, we got many examples of animals that can camouflage in that way. Squids and all that. The chameleons do it really good. Squids do it really good. The tree frogs around here have some of, it's not as great as those animals, but it's still pretty good color changing ability. We have evidence for that stuff, and examples of the color changing ability. Barry Browning says, well, it's bullshit to trash someone on cloaking and turn around and say perhaps it was a spirit. That's just fucking retarded. But as usual, you get to talk. I have to type. It's not a fair conversation. Well, you can say that. I think I disagree. I say bring some evidence to something, anything, any other animal in the world can cloak. But we see evidence of spirits. We have the technology now to start detecting them, although it's not great, but we do detect them. And so, I don't know what to tell you. And then plus, if you look into field theory, once you learn enough about field theory, you'll see that basically it gives you a scientific understanding that basically, I don't know how to explain this. It shows you that it's something that's not just possible, probable, but most certainly has to be spirits. So there's this scientific basis for it. No, it's not. That's not why I set it this way. I just don't do guests. I don't know why you want to. You look, if you don't like it, you don't have to be here, man. Like, I don't do guests. Maybe I will one of these days, but I just don't. I mean, and part of it's because my Wi-Fi always craps out when I try to get on anyone else's show. So I'm not looking to argue with you about it or debate you or anything like that. I mean, you're saying what you want to say. Okay, that's fine, and I disagree. I have a right to tell someone who is claiming that something is that they cloak that I don't believe them. They are either mistaken or they're lying. And if that makes them mad, I'm sorry. It's just too bad. Prove that cloaking is a thing that can happen. There is nothing to show that. There's no examples of other creatures that can do that. There's just people claiming that it's then if you say, well, it just disappeared. I don't know what happened. I don't understand it. Well, that's one thing, but people are out there saying that this is one of the abilities of Bigfoot. It can cloak, as if it's a fact. Well, it's not a goddamn fact. I'm sorry. Brandy says, you're communicating your points perfectly, Barry. Perhaps a lesson can be learned here in how we choose to speak to others. Papa Craig says, that's funny as hell about the P word, Brandy. I'm so sick of hearing it. Mr. Lee says, yeah, yeah, it was Jay Birch. Donald Fuller says, I think the cloaking thing is the same thing when you got a deer in front of you and you don't see it till it flickers its tail. Now, if they would admit to that, but I'm talking about the people who think that they got this, they can cloak themselves, like truly disappear. That because the deer didn't actually disappear; it was there the whole time. But by blending in well enough and standing perfectly still, a person may not see them. But there's people out there trying to claim that Bigfoot have the ability to cloak themselves like a freaking Romulan ship on Star Trek, and I'm just calling BS on that. No other animal examples of it, and there's no evidence that it can exist, and as far as I know, there's no science to suggest that it's even a remote possibility. So I don't know why people are getting that, because look, there's people out there pushing that narrative, and I'm not just going to accept all the narratives that don't have anything behind them. I'm just not. And I think that they hurt the whole issue. Like, people show up and if people hear about this subject from somebody that's saying, well, it looked like a big dude and he was hairy, but and you're not giving them any kind of magical bullshit, well, they're more likely to receive it well than if you're talking about a bunch of magical crap that doesn't make any sense. And cloaking, as they describe it, is magical crap that doesn't have, there's no science to explain the possibility. There's no other animals that have that capability and that we're aware of. So I don't know why they get so bent when people won't believe them. Paulie T says, what the hell does paraphernalia have to do with anything? Yeah, Brandy says, me too, Papa, especially when there's people who have footage of them moving and blinking, but because the leaves or foliage isn't in focus, it's trash. Papa says, I'm lost on the rules here. I've inadvertently seen a Sasquatch, but I can't talk about it until I prove it exists. No, I think, like this is why this is different than the cloaking claim. The cloaking claim doesn't have anything. I mean, there's footprints of Sasquatch. You know what I mean? Animal tracks is this whole science where, like, if you discover tracks from an animal that no one has ever seen the animal, right? But you can find the tracks. Well, that's enough to prove a new species exists. If an expert can show that those tracks don't belong to any known species, tracks are enough to declare discovery of a new species. Because there isn't nothing leaving those tracks. And so, but unfortunately with Sasquatch, we got a world that's, I don't know why the world doesn't want to accept they exist. And we got tracks. We got numerous sightings. I mean, we should have enough. But so, I mean, that's what I think we should be. We need to find some way to act. Prove it so well that your average person can't deny it anymore. But right now they deny it because they're just going to keep saying, well, every footprint's a hoax or it's a mistaken something else. It's just a depression in the ground that happened to look like a footprint or something. Paulie T says, Lockbeard, do you want a sous chef to prepare it? Not a sushi chef. Oh, I don't know. Either way, I guess. I don't know. Mark Dahlman says, signing out. Need to finalize everything for tomorrow. We'll catch everyone when I get back. All right. We'll see you later, Mark. Donald, I've had it happen several times with deer. Yeah, where I mean, they stand so still you hardly know. You hardly know that you just don't see them. Some people are better at seeing them anyway, because a lot of people they're just not paying attention. They don't got an eye for it. They're not looking for deer necessarily. So it works better on some people than others. Bella Rosa says, normally I'm just lurker, but why are you so adamant on bringing up those other people? Are you wanting attention? Nice try, Bella. Bye. Papa says, have fun, Mark. Brandy says, why is it that only the part of the video or pic in question is a bit out of focus and pixels are square, not hominoid shaped? Just saying. I don't know. Is there a particular video we should look at? I mean, I could bring something up and we could take a look at something and see what we think. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know why that would happen. Gene says, Brandy, I've seen very clear photo and with pictures, but the people will never share them public because no matter how clear they will be called fake. Gene says, what is that little lizard called that changes colors? The color changes to the colors around it. A chameleon. Yeah. I don't know if there's other types, but there's a variety of different chameleons. There's I think an anoles, and I think it's pronounced anoles. They have a little more limited color changing ability, but they can do it. Polly says, great show so far, minus my juvenile humor, Lockbeard. Oh, and the chameleon, what satire, just like paraphernalia and not pareidolia. Polly T said, squid, you one-upper. Don't have me caught, Blackbeard. A lot about squid. What? I'm not sure what you're saying. What about squid? Can you talk about the color changing thing, or about me eating a whole bunch of squid the other day? Because I did, and I plan on doing it again tomorrow. I'm going to destroy a whole family of squid tomorrow, along with my sushi. Brandy says, take care, Mark. Have fun. Mr. Lee says, Sasquatch is not a fact either. Are you sure? I don't know. I mean, what's leaving the footprints then? You know, I mean, Brandy says, show me the proof they are a human species. Well, that's looking at, look at the PG film. I don't know. Different thing. And then also from the eyewitness accounts, the shape of the nose, the structure of the body, the foot morphology, and then the behavioral stuff. The ability to avoid us so well adds to all that they are almost certainly human. You can join. We can all talk. Your Wi-Fi won't enable you from doing that, so we solved all the Wi-Fi bad. I don't want to talk to Vault. Dude came in my chat and threatened me. Look, you want to band together with someone that comes in my chat and threatens me, go ahead. I'm not interested in talking to Vault. Sorry. Email says chameleons kind of cloak themselves, change color to camouflage. No, yeah, that's camouflage. That's a totally different thing than cloaking. Papa Craig says, "Hey Nemo, me too with my clothes." Brandy says, maybe people get so bent because they know what they've seen, and who is anyone to tell them otherwise? Well, I mean, maybe they look. They may be certain they saw what they saw, but if they will not entertain the idea that they could have been mistaken, then their objectivity may be compromised. I'm just saying cloaking falls into the realm of claims that just doesn't have anything behind it. I mean, even if we pointed to some of the pictures in the video, is there any pictures in the video of them actually cloaking? And we don't have any examples of any other animals, and I can't think of any kind of scientific explanation that would support cloaking. So the only way a Sasquatch could disappear is if you weren't looking at a live Sasquatch, if you were looking at the ghost of a Sasquatch, which that I could maybe, entertain. But cloaking, I can't. It's just there's just not enough to go on there. So Nemo says, Brandy, hello, shalom, namaste here, Krishna, tisk tisk, claw claw. I think they're human. They have a language, hooded nose, foot like ours. Yeah. The combination, all those morphological characteristics, and if someone were to, even people with a lot of anthropological knowledge might still not quite see it and understand why I am very, very certain they're Homo sapiens. Because mainstream anthropology has a problem in it, that they call things a separate species from humans when they clearly are not, and it's been proven that they're not. Like in the case of Neanderthals. Neanderthals have been thoroughly and completely, conclusively the fuck proven to be the same species as us. Period. There's no denying this, but mainstream anthropology still isn't saying this. They need to change the name. It is not Homo neanderthalensis. That's not the proper way to name it, because it's the same species. So they need to change it to Homo sapiens subspecies neanderthalensis. But we got this problem where I don't know why they don't want to change their thoughts, because they got things like Heidelbergensis and Ergaster and Erectus, and they're trying to say all these things are separate species, but I don't think they were. I think they were, and it'd take a long time to unpack all that, why I think that. And why mainstream anthropology has no proof of their assertion that they're separate species. They just, that you have a problem of the prestige of discovering a new species. The scientist wants to be able to say, I found that, I discovered that new species, and then name it and all that stuff. So it's a problem. Better than a fake ass tree. True story, Polly. The first year that we got a fake tree in my house, the house burned up on Christmas Day. True fucking story. Barry Brownie says, I can count on you being there. My prediction, no. Barry, I'm done playing with you and Bella Rosa right now. I'm not talking to Vault. Vault should be ostracized. He wanted to talk like men. He shouldn't have been threatening me in my fucking chat. He doesn't want to talk like a man. And he's trying to defend EDOS. You can't defend EDOS. He fucking did it. End of story. Sorry. Papa Craig says, Paulie, if I came out with a brand like that, I wonder how well it would sell. Jeff says, I disagree with the track comment. Tracks can be fake, so how can they alone map a new species? Well, like in the case of say it was a cat species, some new type of feline. If you're finding tracks of these things, out in the wilderness, and an expert in those tracks can show that they clearly are not from known species, then you can say you then have enough to say there's a new species there, even without a physical specimen. Now, in the case of no, so who would be faking a feline track in the woods? Now with Bigfoot, we have the problem of people faking tracks, but so we're kind of depending on um, Meldrum being legit, right? And I've said before that sometimes I wonder if he's legit, but I mean he is a legit university scientist, and uh, who should be able to determine if a track is a fake or not. I mean, and sure, it may be within the realm of possibility that a track someone could possibly fake a track, but man, I don't know, like the ones with thermal ridges and stuff like that, and then the sheer number of them that have been found, like, man, there'd have to be a lot of people out there making fake tracks. And with the expertise to make a track that would fool an expert. So, yeah. Mr. Lee says, Jeff, hey man, and welcome to the chat, Jeff. Jeff says there's plenty of tracks in Meldrum side with thermal ridges. Most will break at EDC that aren't good enough to map a species. I don't know. I mean, if you got a track that, if he can determine that was a legit track, I mean, why not? Pop Craig says, Mr. Lee, am I allowed to say the ones I've seen have a human-looking face? Yeah, a lot of people who seem to be, legitimate witnesses of these people say that, which further adds to what I say is that they almost certainly are Homo sapiens. Polly says, Jeff, you sneaky bastard. Oh, here it comes. Yep. Yeah, get out of here, Chase. Bye. Yep, they've called in the dogs. Barry Browning, see, you just proved you're part of this crew, Barry. You just proved to me you're part of that same crap crew. You're in here trying to get me to go over the vaults, and I guess it looks like Vault's sending in these other people, Bella Rosa and Chase Thompson. Go back and tell your fuck ass friend, Vault of Nightmares, that I don't want to fucking talk to him. He came in my goddamn chat trying to threaten me and harassing me in my chat with all your little buddies, and trying to intimidate me. Vault of Nightmares can fuck all the way off. And you guys can too. I don't give a fuck, Bella. I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of here. Polly T says, up, man. Liking your contributions to show you're a guest on appreciating your knowledge, buddy. Let's see. Pyromedic says, sorry, Bedlam. All right, man. Calamari is delicious. Yes, it is. I'm going to have a whole bunch of it tomorrow. Paramedic says, hello, Mr. Lee, Oklahoma playing Oklahoma State in our football. Let's see here. Well, we weren't until they started coming back in here with it. Talked to Vault for about 4 hours the other day. Well, you understand he's a DDoS apologist, right? And he came in my chat trying to threaten me. Now he wants to have a logical conversation. He can come in my, like, you guys don't talk to me about logical conversation. These guys are trying to talk to me about a logical conversation with this guy who came in my chat and it was heavily veiled threat, but he was threatening me. And Brandy says, well, he did threaten Lockbeard, but that doesn't mean there can't be some sort of end to all this shit. Yeah, we were trying to move on, but now they're starting to show up in here and start this nonsense. And Barry apparently is full on the DDoS crew, so Barry can get the fuck out of here too. I don't give a fuck. I have no problem telling you to fuck off. If you're gonna be that far onto the DDoS cocksucking train, you don't need to be here. Fuck off. I'm not playing this goddamn game with you fucks. God damn it. We're talking Bigfoot up in here. Polly T says, cool, Jeff. Would love to see you do your thing just like Locke's doing, Jeff. Paramedic says, them's fighting words everywhere, but from where he's from, I guess. Let's see. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, what do you think about Allen's wild claims of the Sasquatch people and COVID? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Mr. Lee. Yeah, it was just, it was another. I mean, his story was starting to fall apart anyway. It just was, and then he just flat out fled when Leon, he wanted to get on there, but then when Leon came, he bailed. So his story was falling apart. COVID, yeah, because when they questioned him about how do you know it's COVID, Brandy was even saying that. Well, she said it multiple times in the chat, and they because he don't know they have COVID, but he's just trying to be somebody with some new narrative, trying to make a name for himself or whatever. They were kind of exploring what was going on in the guy's head on Pat's show last night as well. Initially, if it looks like BS and smells like BS, it's BS. Jeff says, after giving the vault to convey additional information for the other side of the story on the DOS situation, I went on to vet some info and discovered there's info peeps we're not aware of. And it does change the narrative. Yeah, and I was totally saying to that Barry earlier that yeah, there is always more to the story, or not always, but a lot of times there is. But the problem is these guys came into my chat and were in my email and were dropping comments on videos and then deleting the comments. So what are they hiding? They were just flat out just trying to harass me like they're trying to do here a little bit. There was threats because Volta Nightmare says Oklahoma's not that far away. Ask Vic Condeff what happened to him. He was that son of a bitch is making threats to me. So I don't care what anybody has to say about trying to say Volt's cool and all this stuff. No, Volt is not going to be cool in my book ever. I'm not a forgiving person. He came in my chat, basically threatened to come into Oklahoma and do something, do physical harm to me is the implication there. He was smart enough not to say it overtly, but that's what he was doing. And so Volt can fuck all the way off. He can't be coming up in here trying to tell me, oh, you don't want to have a logical conversation. No, that he threw that possibility out the window when he came in my chat making a physical threat upon me, and he could fuck all the way off. I'm not going to talk to Volt. It's just not going to happen. And him and Dark Waters and all of them with all their threats and their harassment and all that shit, and then try to turn around and say that I was harassing them. I'm just talking on my channel. I didn't go to their channel. They came to my channel, and I don't know what they hope to accomplish coming up in here. So Brandy says this is fucking ridiculous in this shit. All right, I don't mind discussing it, but it's upsetting Brandy. Let's see. He said, "Oh, okay. Maury P is waiting the polygraph results. Jeff for the hump of it, buddy." Polly T, the results are in. I such a jackass, but funny jackass. Chase. It happened. It was heavily veiled, but it was definitely a threat. And I have the screenshot of it, and you could probably go back and find it in the chat unless he deleted his comments or something or his chats. So whatever. But anyway, just get out of here. Just you're not going to accomplish anything here. So go away. Go suck on DDoS's dick or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Mr. Lee says, yes, I forget this bullshit. Love you, pal, buddy, but completely. Yeah. I mean, I know exactly what he was trying to imply. He was trying to scare me and intimidate me. It was a threat. And, so that right there, like, look, if we did end up in a courtroom, I'm pretty sure the jury would see it the way I see it. That was an implied threat. And you guys are in the wrong. You have sided with the wrong fucker. And I don't need you over here on my side or anything. I don't need anything from you, but you aren't going to accomplish anything coming up in here trying to harass me into going and talking to Vault so Vault can spin his bunch of bullshit or whatever. He's full of shit. I'm convinced of that. And he's trying to threaten me and intimidate me, and he can fuck all the way off. He came in my chat threatening me. I'm the wrong motherfucker to threaten, Vault. I took it in the wrong way. Yeah, you guys get the fuck out of here. To visit and talk. Are you serious? I was saying I wouldn't put it past Zasky to try and fake something to make things look legitimate. Zasky's putting all these look, man, whatever. I don't know why you're even here. Yep, that's how they work. Absolutely. Yeah, they're trying to twist it, Brandy. She says Bella the duh isn't necessary when I'm hoping for an end to all this as well. Let's see. I know we will never all get along, but something got to give. Well, here's something. I mean, they just need to accept that I don't like them, especially after what they did. After the video on DDoS, which I don't think portrayed any inaccurate information. The guy did go to jail. There was strangulation. What more do they want? And so whatever. I'm not saying you start anything, Barry. I don't know what you're talking about. Prairie Fire says, should have seen Alan squirm when Steve Calls came on. Yeah. His story was going to come apart once those guys started they were trying to be nice, but he was full of shit. Come on. He says, I think Alan shit his pants like when he started to suffer incontinence when he saw the fake Sasquatch in his mind. Chat made him revisit the moment, and it was a deja vu moment. Sasquatch Wizard says, Lockbeard, you were mentioning Bigfoot hunters. Check out this video on Scott Carpenter's channel. Scott speaks of a direct conversation with a lady named Bobby Joe, whom speaks of Bigfoot Hunters Act PG. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've been eating a homemade stew and just listening. Yeah, sorry for all the nonsense. Mr. Lee, I'm wondering, just saying, couldn't get a hello. Never mind my comments of support. I'm thinking I need to reevaluate who I say hello to going forward. She said something about channel growing. Whatever. Yeah. Papa Craig says, I know, Polly, you've been saying hello to me for some time now. Wizard says, if I haven't returned a hello, I apologize. I've been listening only. Polly says, Brandy said he'll held to your lurking arse. Well, I mean, the people that were doing threats, Barry, was Vault. I mean, Brandy saw, other people saw. I got the screenshots that he may be trying to twist it now and say, no, I was trying to say we should talk. No, dude was trying to threaten me. They were trying to intimidate me. It was they had a whole program going. So, look, you want to side with bad people, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. I don't really want to, I'm not interested in trying to. I don't know what you want from me. I don't care. You're siding with DDoS, and you just go do that. Okay, go right ahead. Second bowl coming up, and you're siding with Carrie, who is part of the bullshit end of Bigfoot, and I don't like it, and I have a right to fucking say it. And Zasky, who everybody knows is full of shit, and, you know, and I mean, you want to go over there and hang out with Zasky and Noel and all these people that are just full of shit, you go right ahead. DDoS, full of shit. Dogman, what the fuck? Dogman, there ain't no goddamn Dogman. Find any proof of Dogman. There just isn't anything. Some people who mistook some wolves. That's what I'm thinking at this point, or they're some of them are just lying. Okay, well, Brandy just quoted it exactly. I have the screenshot, and it's probably still in the chat. You know, so in one of the previous shows. So, yes, heavily veiled, but you know, all that shit combined, that I was definitely seeing a program of harassment, intimidation, and implication of physical violence from that crew. But you want to, that's the people you want to hang with, you go right ahead. Brandy says, gonna drive a bitch to drink, man. Don't drink, Brandy. Mr. Lee says, Steve Coles rubs me up the wrong way. What? He's rubbing you up. Paulie T says, Papa, stop it. Can't clink. We need a Will Wang story for the plants in chat. Sad. This S even more juvenile than my ass. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you started. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you started what? I mean, you're talking about this stuff, but I mean, I don't know. I think there may be a misunderstanding. What did I say you started? I don't know. I'm talking about these other crew. You mean like, did you message Vault or something? And then has he got his people over here with fake accounts? Like, one of these people is probably DDoS for all I know. I've never seen these people before. You know, I've never seen these people. I don't know who the fuck they are. They're coming up in my chat trying to tell me anything. No. Donald says, so Steve is no good in bed, Mr. Lee? Polly, I'm happy. Papa Craig says, dang it, Mr. Lee. All I've ever won is the draft lottery and a trip to get zapped in Montana. Polly T says, Mr. Lee, cool, pal. Well, dude, you're up in here all trying to, you're up in my chat trying to fuck with me over the DDoS situation. What I'm suggesting is you're already sucking his dick. Dude, look, why are you here? Why the fuck are you here? You know? Now, maybe the situation was a little more gray, but again, did D do the crime? Well, why is he in jail? But some of you people were in my chat trying to say that you were trying to say that the system sometimes the system convicts people wrongfully. You weren't there. Well, maybe you were. Maybe you're just using a different account now. You're trying to suggest that D was wrongfully convicted. So now we're supposed to assume that the system is always that everyone is wrongfully convicted, right? Because I'm supposed to assume that DDoS is wrongfully convicted just because you say so. Well, lots of people could say that about a lot of people. So are you suggesting we assume that everybody's wrongfully convicted? Are you in favor of letting all the child molesters out of jail? Are they all wrongfully convicted too? Prove D didn't strangle a woman. Mr. Lee says Tex has seen the dog man. Tex doesn't lie, Lockbeard. Well, if he's not lying, then perhaps he was mistaken. Look, that channel is a woo channel. That's my determination of that channel. It's a woo channel. So if they don't want that, designation for me, and not that they give a shit, they banned me, right? Then they need to like come up with some evidence for some of the bullshit that they push on that channel. And I mean, I love the idea, like the pterosaur thing. That'd be great. Except the reason why he likes the pterosaur, Texas buddy, the reason why, I think he likes the pterosaur things, because he thinks it helps prove young Earth, which we all know is bullshit. The Earth is not 6,000 years old, or whatever number he likes to put on. It's not. But so we're gonna have all kinds of confirmation bias bullshit over there, and that's just the way it is. Sorry. I used to like watching the channel. They seem like nice guys, but my bullshit meter was pegging out over there, so I don't watch anymore, and I certainly don't want to support them if they ban me. So whatever. It's gospel. I mean, if you guys think that, but I don't believe that's what he saw. So some evidence needs to be found. If Tex reports it should be considered evidence, I can't get on board with that, Papa. Sorry. I don't know what Tex actually saw. Maybe he actually believes he saw some dog man, but man, I mean, y'all don't believe in dog man, do you? I mean, come on. They probably just had a little problem with some wolves. Something. I don't know. Because wasn't he a kid, according to his story? Maybe as a kid, his imagination got a little wild with the situation. And they just had a problem with wolves. So, I don't know. Papa Craig says, all right, I got you to laugh. Yeah. So, let me see here. Going over to see if, is he not on? I guess is not. Maybe he's taken off for Thanksgiving or something. Because I don't see Central Florida Bigfoot on live right now. Polly T says, who the fuck cares who strangled who? And by the way, Ted Nugent's Stranglehold is one of the greatest love songs ever written. Jen, welcome. Just come from work. Yeah, you probably don't want to see the replay. Maybe the first 10 minutes. About much of the rest of it got turned into kind of a shit show. My language may have been a little excessive as a result. Central Florida Bigfoot will be on tonight, Sandra. Is he going to be on later or something? Because I don't see him live yet. I thought he had his show scheduled for 8 p.m. on Saturdays, our time. But he doesn't seem to be sticking to that schedule. Paulie T says the chat member formerly known as Jay Cappy is here. Mr. Lee says, I respect you, Barry. You good people. Pop Craig says, we love you, Barry. He says, thank you, Lee. Much appreciated. Yep, Jen's here. Welcome, Jen. Yep. Well, I think I'm going to wrap her up and maybe go find some food. I don't know. But the main subject tonight was that, you know, people still hearing people say Bigfoot has, or Oklahoma has this Bigfoot hunting season. Oklahoma does not have a Bigfoot hunting season or trapping season. It didn't happen. So, you know, it's just so hard to get the, I mean, once people get an idea in their head, it's hard to get it out sometimes. Polly says, no, Barry, just a hello from you. And apparently I'm on the wrong side. I'll still straddle the middle. I got broad shoulders, homie. Let's see here. I still don't got a notification for Central Florida. Oh well.
No one else, so nobody can steal it and just throw it up.
So, all right, everybody. I'm going to end it. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys next time. I think we need to look at, hold on a second, what in the, Papa Craig says, trapping Bigfoot reminds me of this show, Mountain Monsters, the Keystone Cops of Bigfoot Hunters. Yeah. I think we should get a little dose of little dose of some Peter Kane to end the night.
Oh, Sasquatch, you're dead to me. How dare you do that? She didn't even kiss me. She didn't even give me a rimmer, goddammit. All this stuff in the news that I'm the one I'm suffering. Nobody wants to help me. Nobody even wants to give them my Patreon account. I didn't even get a rimmer. Oh, Jimmy, what am I gonna do? Here's the tree that she knocked out after she had sex with me. It was like she stood up and knocked it down. She was so excited because I was so good. I was great. I'm sure. It's the tree that she knocked out. See, that's proof that it's really fucking happened. It did. It happened.
Uncle Bone says, thank you, Lockbeard. Good night. Paul A.T. says, slapping Bigfoot is must-see TV. Peter Kane rocks. Papa Craig says that could become a popular sport, Polly, like cow tipping. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Thanks for coming.